Hey everyone, you know what time it is? The beatdown! Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Beatdown, where two worlds collide. I'm your host, Class. This is my co-host, Biggs. And as a friendly reminder, if you guys like the channel, you can subscribe, share, or leave a comment down below. And we are back at it again, guys. Yeah, without further ado, let's begin with our two gunslingers, you could say. And I'll be representing DC Comics Bloodsport. Alright, so let's throw a little fun facts. Let's talk about a little bit about his origin story. So, in the original comics, I believe it's Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall was drafted into the Vietnam War. So he didn't want to go, so he decided to go and flee to Canada. And somebody took over in his place, which was his brother Michael. And unfortunately, during the Vietnam War, Michael lost his limbs from his arms and his legs. Due to that, Robert went insane, mad, and guilt because of it, and went on a killing spree, even believing that he was also in the war with his brother, telling people as he was shooting them down in the mall that we fought for your country, we fought for your freedom, you know. So he was he was a madman. Then suddenly Superman showed up, and unfortunately he wasn't ready for what was about to happen, because Lex Luthor actually hooked Bloodsport up with a kryptonite gun. Kryptonite bullets, which he had with a kryptonite gun. Now, here's the cool thing about Bloodsport. His weaponry is unlimited, because apparently, no matter if he gets it from Amanda Waller or Lex Luthor, he has a machine that brings weapons out of thin air. Whatever he conjures up in his mind, bam, it shows up out of thin air. So Bloodsport is probably the ultimate assassin in this essence. So let's talk about a couple people he's defeated. He's defeated interdimensional aliens or other things or other beings from other forms of other universes, multiverses apparently, that Amanda Waller used to have Bloodsport go and take care of business for her on her behalf. So that's impressive. On top of that, he almost killed Superman. Yeah, he's an ordinary man, by the way. He has no special abilities. He's just in peak physical condition. But yes, he was able to almost kill Superman. That's saying a lot. Even if he is spewing bullets, he still, and Superman himself gave him credit for saying, look, you got a unlimited amount of arsenal weapons in your disposal, just whatever you can think of. So it's like, that's impressive in itself. Like, that's like, I can't mess with that in a way, you know? So he fought interdimensional creatures from other worlds or other people. He's also fought Superman, and those alone is enough credibility to think that Bullseye's got he's got his uphill battle in this fight, I want to say. All right, so here's the deal. Bloodsport has too much in his arsenal. Okay, he even has like a Captain America shield that was able to block a Superman X-ray vision. All right, or X-ray shot, blast. So he's in the level where he's going to be capable of dealing with whatever has been thrown his way. The gear, the armor he's wearing, it's got to be very durable, because guess what? It goes into interdimensional travel. If it wasn't durable enough to do that, his body would burn and his head would fry. That's why they gave him that new costume with the helmet and the skull and the mouth and everything. I think it looks pretty cool. And at the same time, it also has a purpose, which is pretty cool. It has a reason, So with that armor that he has, I don't think Bullseye is going to be able to kind of find an easy target to shoot right through it. I think the armor is too damn durable that he's not going to be able to penetrate it. So it's going to have to be Bullseye who needs to come in close-up range in order to even get any kind of shot at Bloodsport in my book. But even so, Bloodsport will always have the arsenal that shows up out of thin air. He can literally think it up. He can think any weapon he wants to, and it'll show up and appear out of his hand, right in his hand instantaneously. So I just don't see this working out for Bullseye. Okay, so this is my final statement. These two meet up, whether close range or far range or distance. Bloodsport's got it in the bag. The unlimited amount of weapons that he possesses in his arsenal is always going to be a factor in this fight. Bullseye can throw as many weapons as he wants at whatever type of speed he wants to, but at the end of the day, it's never going to be enough probably to penetrate that armor. So he's going to need, even the guns he might even have at that moment, if he had guns, let's say he didn't have just blades, he had guns, then, you know, still wouldn't be enough. I just don't think it'd be enough. He could take a lot of beatings from a lot of interdimensional creatures. So I got to think with that, he can also do, you know, deal with any kind of regular bullets that come right at him. So even if Bullseye comes closer, he's not going to have a shot. Again, there's weapons that just come out of nowhere. He has too many high-tech weapons to a point where at some point, any of those high-tech weapons are going to penetrate Bullseye's body armor, which if you aren't aware is that whole adamantium thing. So eventually, with all the weapons and high-tech weaponry he has in his disposal, I think that Bloodsport is just going to be able to eventually cut through Bullseye, and then that's it. Game over. Set and match. Right on, man. Right on. All right. My champion for today is Marvel Comics Bullseye. Right. If you're not aware who Bullseye is, Bullseye. Okay. Well, here's a fun fact. Actually, Bullseye didn't start off as a villain in the Daredevil comic series. He actually had his own comic series, I believe, working for S.H.I.E.L.D. at the time. And then eventually, they didn't want to waste Bullseye, so they decided to merge him into the Daredevil comics because Daredevil was kind of getting a little bit here and there dry. So they wanted to make it interesting. So they brought Bullseye as a villain. And eventually that kind of did here and there. It did decent in sales, but I mean, eventually they used the iconic character in the movie, so it must count for something. So let's talk about this man's capabilities, shall we? The guy is incredible when it comes to making anything that he has in his hand a deadly weapon. He has great precision and he's great at shooting his target, pretty much. He's somewhat very good at always getting his target. Now, the reason why I say he's almost good at getting his target is because there are some points in the comics where he isn't 100% efficient when it comes to moving targets. So as far as still targets, he's got it in the bag, but moving targets, it could be a tad bit tricky at times. So when I mean he can make anything with his hands a deadly weapon, I do mean that. He uses paper clips, he uses all forms of stuff in order to take anybody out. He can break a glass and just shoot a shard of glass right at someone's throat. He is that deadly when it comes to precision, so be careful. Whatever you put in his hands, he usually carries a couple blades here and there, and I do believe he carries some pistols. And if he doesn't, the blades will be enough. The reason why I say the blades will be enough is because he can throw a mean swing at 100 miles per hour. On top of that, his body is almost covered head to toe in adamantium. Now, if you don't remember what adamantium is, it's what Wolverine's bones are made out of, and his claws. It means he can cut through anything. So it wouldn't be easy to just penetrate that type of armor which is inside his own skin. Alright, so he's beaten Elektra a few times here and there. He's also knocked out the Punisher with a paper plane. I'm not making this up. Look it up. He actually did that. On top of that, actually, getting back to it, being as well enough to beat those type of people, even to knock one of them out like that, here's the situation that might happen is that in an encounter with Bloodsport, if Bloodsport loses any of his weapons at any given point in time, that's going to be his doom, his downfall. Because let me tell you, Bullseye is no joke. He actually knows how to use a weapon when he immediately has it in his possession. So he's quick. He's quick. He's a very quick learner, which means that the moment he gets a chance at any of Bloodsport's guns, he's going to probably put Bloodsport out of commission. Remember, Bloodsport is human. On top of that, Bullseye actually does have a genius intellect. He actually is a quick thinker when it comes to improvising in situations. He's great under pressure. He's a very fast thinker, which means that this is going to be a situation where Bloodsport's going to have a problem. Let's not forget, Bullseye is very excellent in acrobatic skills. So even in a situation where Bloodsport would be, let's say, getting closer and closer, Bullseye can jump, do flips, all kinds of stuff to dodge being shot directly right at. I don't think Bloodsport is the best shot. I think you could say Deadshot is the best shot, but I don't think Bloodsport is the best shot. The only thing he's good for is that he can whip up weapons out of thin air. I don't think he's the best aimer. I think Bullseye has his number on that one. All right, so here's my final statement. Bullseye has the ability to win this fight if he uses the rooftops. If Bloodsport is down on the ground and he uses the rooftops, that would do to his favor because he can throw blades right at him, and it gives Bloodsport kind of a disadvantage in that situation. Of course, if they were on the same ground level, Bullseye is smart, very, very smart. So I think he would be able to find out weaknesses and links to weaknesses in Bloodsport's armor. I think he would find out where he's a little bit exposed and stuff, find the strength to his weaknesses, and be able to overcome him in some essence. If he could find open spots from the armor, that means that Bullseye will be able to toss it in there, toss a couple of the blades. He throws it 100 miles per hour. I don't think Bloodsport is going to be that crazy enough to be able to dodge that. But if he gets those exact precisions and cuts open wounds, because Bloodsport can heal, let's keep that real, he could leave him with some open wounds, which means that he's losing blood. Losing blood is a big deal in a fight because you need all your wits and everything, and you can lose your vision impairment, you can lose your wits and everything else in between while you're losing a lack of blood. So if Bullseye can get him to bleed out or get him to start cut him with some open wounds, he'll get more of an upper advantage. Intellect wise and the adamantium in his body is going to keep him alive in this fight. The moment he can get him to open some wounds, that's when Bullseye can rush in, probably grab onto Bloodsport's weapon, take it out of his hand, and then just start shooting him to death. Okay? And that would be the end of Bloodsport. Alright guys, so as always, it's not up to me and it's not up to Biggs, it's up to you guys. So if you guys like my argument, you know what you can do? You can hashtag Bloodsport. And if you like my argument, hashtag Bullseye. Now before we end this, I want to remind everybody that you guys should follow me on my Instagram. Reason I'm suggesting you guys follow me on my Instagram is because we provide you guys with a lot of information over there regarding what's going to happen on the next episodes of the No Pressure channel. So we kind of make announcements letting you guys know what's the next episode that's going to come out. We also let you guys know what new stuff we're going to come up with. We let you know if we have any technical issues that we couldn't put out of videos. Also provide pollings and questionnaires to allow you guys, the fans, to decide who's going to be the next competition you guys want to see, or you guys to decide on votes, like tournaments wise, who gets to move on to the next round. So as always guys, we really appreciate if you guys could follow us on Instagram, or just follow us on here on YouTube at the No Pressure channel, and just leave it down in the comment section below who you thought won this battle. Catch you guys later. Peace.